fumbled the football after a catch earlier. This is offside against Saskatchewan.
Offside, Saskatchewan, number 41. A 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
And Saskatchewan had its linebackers in blitz mode there. Looked like Jeff Knox was early as well.
Well, it's a 4-point game. Riders know a lot about this season. Been in a lot of 4-point games. On the receiving end, however, here's the blitz again and making the catch, but nowhere near a first down. Snaring it is Sinopoli. Great defensive play there from Saskatchewan Roughriders, and Terrell Mays was right there. And the spot, there is a penalty flag.
Well away from the ball.
Illegal contact on a receiver. Saskatchewan, number 1. 10-yard penalty, first down.
What a break
Ottawa.
for the Redblacks. They were going to be stopped there. So they move the sticks inside the 45-yard line. Mays made a great play. Direct snap. Johnson. Again, another penalty flag, though. He is hammered. Mark Legree in on the tackle on the collision. Again, Saskatchewan. Well, the cleanup at the defensive aisle has to continue. Penalty.
Offside, Saskatchewan. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Penalties are a bane here for the Roughriders. One of the reasons that they've lost 8 in a row.
And part of that goes with the inexperience. You heard Corey Chamberlain talk about the number of young guys forced into action on offense, so it's been a bit of a revolving door at some positions on D as well.
Clicking close to 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 1st and 5 after that. Quick hitter here. Jackson down near the 10-yard line. One of the few occasions since that first quarter when Henry Burris has been able to connect on that short snapper.
And I love when he gets Ernest Jackson involved. Jackson, number 2 receiver, into the boundary here. And again, just a quick hitter, get the ball in his hands. Ernest Jackson, to me, as you saw in that slot back sweep earlier, one of those guys just fire the entire team up.
Look out here, Johnson lunging down to the goal line.
When you go back to that sweep, a good hard physical play from a receiver carrying the ball. Honestly, think that kind of wakes up everybody in your lineup. We saw it again on that catch and run from Jackson.
Redblacks now hovering near the goal line again. Haven't scored since their second drive. Henry now hands it off, and they score now. And once again, Jeremiah Johnson, the last guy who found the end zone, finds it again.
Part of the reason Jeremiah Johnson finds himself in the lineup is the fact that he's going straight downhill, attacking the line of scrimmage when he gets that ball. There's a hole, bury your head and get there.
Here's a guy who hits those holes hard. One of the reasons why they said that they would go with Johnson, not Siobhan Walker, who they released. Johnson has a pair of touchdowns, scored 2 touchdowns last week too in the loss against the Argonauts, a game that they thought they had in their grasp. Chris Milo to convert, and he does. Johnson has another pair. Redblacks have a 10-point lead. Make it 11 now. Well, Hall of Fame weekend last weekend in Saskatchewan, and Leroy Blue could not be there because he was kind of busy as a coach. So the newest Hall of Famer in this region received his jacket, gave a speech at halftime here, and congratulations to Leroy Blue joining a great class, the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in 2015.
Yeah, and Leroy Blue, although a great CFL player primarily with Edmonton, inducted as a CIS player for what he did at Bishops. And to me, Leroy Blue was one of the guys who really put that Bishop's program on the map, first as a player and then developing a number of outstanding CFLers as a head coach. He went back there years later. Congratulations to very deserving Leroy Blue and doing a fine job coaching up this Ottawa defensive line now.
Blues, Redblacks lead 21-10 here. Again, right into the sunshine for Nick Dembski. The stutter step. And downfield quickly. Again, that Redblacks special team. Let's take a look at this touchdown drive. Jeremiah Johnson started it and finished it.
Well, Jeremiah Johnson combined with Ernest Jackson, I thought, with some good, hard physical play with the ball in their hands. Played an important role in that drive, as did a couple of Saskatchewan penalties.
Now the Roughriders again. Lament the discipline and the inexperience, but they're still in this. Trying to snap an 8-game slide. Ottawa's on a 2-game losing streak. Sinceri slapped to Rob Bagg on the far side. Picks up around 9.
Rob Bagg making a tough catch there.
Every game pretty much a must-win for the Roughriders. Such an abysmal start to the season, not even at the halfway point yet for them. No team has ever gone 0-8 and made the playoffs.
I'm sure that factors into the decision for Corey Chamberlain. It's kind of now or never if they're going to make a run at and try to catch teams like Winnipeg and BC for a playoff spot.
Dressler, dangerous there. Jaquez Washington, free safety. Jaws with Jerome Messam.
You see Dressler working against Abdul Kane out on the corner. That's just one that got away from number 7. Doesn't happen very often.
Second and 10. They load up the box and bring the heat again. Sinceri steps up. Likely a penalty coming. And Sinceri is down, so is the football. More heat from the Ottawa Redblacks. Making life miserable for Saskatchewan quarterbacks.
Number 66. The penalties decline. The result of the play is the turnover. First down, Ottawa.
Football, Ottawa takes over.
And Damaso Munoz continues to have an impact here in the second half. You're going to see him mugged up in that line of scrimmage. Again, he's tied up, but as he spins here, presence of mind to reach for that ball and happens to get a hand on it and pop it loose.
Talked about all the inexperience for the Roughriders they have on that offensive side. And keep in mind that injury to Dan Clark was devastating early on as well. So the Redblacks now can step on the Roughriders here with 1:18 and counting. Another turnover by Saskatchewan. Burris putting up some big yardage again in the air, but stays on the ground and opening up the hole. Forget it. Touchdown. Hat trick. Jeremiah Johnson. I guess this is why they kept this guy around, as he goes into TD Place Stadium's first row. Another trip to the house by JJ.
And this one just opens up, and when you run north-south, you hit that hole in a hurry. Jeremiah Johnson off to the races, untouched.
Suddenly, this game turns again in the favor of the Ottawa Redblacks. 5 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Jeremiah Johnson still may not be done today, and all is quiet in Greenland. The Saskatchewan Roughriders, they were hanging in until that last drive and those penalties. Now the Redblacks have opened it up. Milo, the former Rider again. 28-10.
Give credit where credit is due. It's a nice run, but this is an awesome job on the right side of the offensive line. Nolan McMillan, Colin Kelly. Watch McMillan in particular as that linebacker comes up. He's got to get to him in a hurry. Cuts him down. Kelly blocks out. And all Johnson sees is end zone.
Jeremiah Johnson does the Lansdowne leap. Here at Lansdowne Park, TD Place Stadium. Remember last year when you kind of wondered about TD Place Stadium? They couldn't get many TDs here. They're making up for it this season.
Well, they sure are. Rebuilt offense.
Rebuilt everything in so many ways. And they are right in the thick of it in the CFL East. That teeter-totter, East and West, has certainly changed this season, Dwayne.
Well, everything is so close. But yeah, the East is definitely, the teams have picked up their game. Look at what Ottawa did in the offseason, what Hamilton's done to build their team over the last couple. Toronto adding the new receivers this year has really changed their team.
Stephen Miller bouncing back, fumble football. What else can go wrong for the Roughriders?
Who touched it last?
Right now the officials aren't sure. Redblacks are right there and they say it's theirs. The sky is falling for Saskatchewan.
The ruling on the field is last touch before it went out of bounds by Ottawa. First down.
Kawanji Kashama. Backup defensive end. One of the Redblacks that was in there.
Like maybe James Green was also in there to as he was hurtling his body forward. How about this? In a span of a couple minutes, the Ottawa Redblacks may be able to put up another touchdown here. Right into the red zone. And maybe close to another trip to the end zone here. Frustration mounts for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Well, unless they have some sort of miracle comeback in the fourth, they're going to fall to 0-9. No one saw that coming at the beginning of the season. Burris now. Little flip now to Jackson. Ernest Jackson's out of bounds at the 2.
There might be a hold. Possibly against Chris Williams down near the goal line.
Jackson went flying for that cone. This is likely against Ottawa. Riders trying to change some personnel here.
Holding Ottawa, number 80. 10-yard penalty, remains first down. There'll be one play remaining.
And you always appreciate the effort of the receivers trying to block downfield. Chris Williams right on the right edge of your screen. Got his guy tied up, but he loses leverage here. No doubt about that call.
First and 20. Last play, third quarter. Last couple minutes dominated here, and high hurdle by Patrick Lavoie inside the 10. The Ottawa Redblacks. Third quarter going along, no points scored, and then all of a sudden, the Jeremiah Johnson show takes over. Pair of touchdowns in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Breaks it open, 28-10. Redblacks.
Quantico.
The FBI Academy is life and death.
They pitted us against each other.
I can ask, or you can just tell me.
They weeded us out, one by one.
He's gone.
49 more to go.
They only wanted the best. Gotcha. I didn't see this coming.
FBI, don't move! Keep your hands where I can see them! I said don't move!
Quantico. New series. Sundays this fall on CTV.
The CFL and our partners at Football Canada want to make sure we keep growing, promoting, and investing in a safe game.
Hit!
Football Canada now requires all amateur coaches to be safe contact trained by 2017. By creating a standard of safety for all in our football community, we're making an already great game even better. Make sure your youth coach is safe contact trained, because making a safe game means making a better game.
We are born makers. We make things that are there when you need them most. Things that help you avoid an accident before it ever happens. Things worthy of the IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, the industry's highest safety accolade. The all-new Chrysler 200.
Saskatchewan Roughriders 0 for the season. Could go to 0-9 unless something dramatically changes here, but discipline seems to be an issue. Penalties certainly an issue. 97 yards on penalty. But in that last 2 minutes of that third quarter, a couple of penalties on a drive, and a game that they're very close to the Ottawa Redblacks in, changes the complexion of this game completely.
Yeah, it really does. And the thing you look at, and this is, I know what drives Corey Chamberlain nuts, and it goes back to why he pulled Brett Smith out of the game, as he talked about the mistake in a situation, not understanding the situation, and that sort of frustrating him as a coach and pushing him into that decision. Is a perfect example was the penalty on Marche Green, where it's away from where the play is going, and he's got help. He held a receiver, but had help. He didn't need to hold the guy. Understand the situation that you're in a second and long.
Burris now, 2nd and 7. Looking to step on the Riders' throats. And unable to hang on is Ellingson. Penalty flag, and it looks like it might be an interference call. It will be.
Pass interference. Saskatchewan, number 38, in goal. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Ellingson's just working kind of that wide fade against the corner, Tristan Jackson. He's got a step. Burris lays it in there, and Ellingson is actually in position to make the catch. But left hand on the right arm by Tristan Jackson.
Corey Chamberlain is throwing a challenge flag.
Saskatchewan is challenging the ruling on the field of defensive pass interference. We will review the play.
We'll take a look here. Look in the bottom right corner of your screen. That's the Ellingson-Jackson matchup. Keep an eye on the left hand over top of the right arm of Greg Ellingson. Just preventing the receiver from freely moving his right arm to get that football.
Certainly tangled up on this pattern. Again, Ellingson, a very quiet afternoon here compared to his last few games. He's been the primary target, it seemed, for Henry Burris. They really haven't needed him because others have stepped up.
Ellingson had 15 catches, 266 yards in the previous 3 ball games. But this is the thing that this team has built this year as opposed to last year, is depth. They can go to anybody.
After review, it's been determined that the ruling on the field is confirmed. Pass interference. Saskatchewan is charged with 1 timeout. They have 1 timeout remaining.
2 unsuccessful challenges. Corey Chamberlain almost has that look on his face like, what do you do? What do you do? Down to the 1. Burris, touchdown. In the span of on the game clock. This game went from being close as another wood cookie gets sawed off, as they do here, that Algonquin Lumberjack group. And all of a sudden, it's a blowout.
And another penalty sets up the Redblacks on the doorstep. Easy plunge here again behind that right side of the offensive line for Henry Burris.
These Ottawa Redblacks have a bye week next week and then take on the BC Lions the following week. And the game now well in control, and Burris has put out some outrageous numbers again for the third straight game. Former Rider Milo, point after is good. They are buzzing again here in Ottawa. 3 touchdowns, 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Pretty much game over. Middle grade. Dwayne Ford and John Liu, Rod Black with you, our entire crew here. Final Sunday of August. What a day it has been for Henry Burris again. They might shut him down soon for the rest of this one. Game seems to be well in control. Lots of time left. You never know in the Canadian Football League, but not a lot of resistance right now from the Saskatchewan Roughriders as Stephen Miller tries to kick it outside, and he does his best return of the afternoon. And another penalty flag flies. So Corey Chamberlain, again, frustrated and disappointed, and what looks like an 0-9 coming to his team.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Saskatchewan, number 90, 15 yards, first down.
All these penalties just piling up, and so are the losses.
And here are the worst beginnings to seasons in Saskatchewan Roughrider history, and there you see 2015 making its way up the list. 0-8 right now, and in danger of making it 0-9.
You think about all the games that they let fritter away, though. Chance to win, close losses. They didn't have to be in this situation as Jerome Messam. Travis Brown getting some playing time, getting back in the lineup.
When you talk about the close losses, like it's interesting when you look at point differential for teams, points for versus points against. I mean, the Saskatchewan Roughriders 0-8. But there are 3 teams with at least 3 wins each, including Ottawa, that had worse point differentials coming into this ballgame.
2nd and 10 again. That would speak to the inexperience, the inability to close games, finish games, makeshift lineup. Sinceri going deep for Ryan Smith. That should be interference. It is.
You gotta love sports fans. The immediate boos. I mean, this is when they had to call.
Going back to that record, though, and you think back to a game they had in overtime, it looked like against the Argos, the Riders had. Look at the injuries, though. Keep in mind, Darian Durant, Kevin Glenn.
Pass interference, Ottawa. It's a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Kevin Glenn chatted with us.
Intentional, by the way, yeah. Just the feet got tangled.
So
right
just
at the
10
bottom
yards.
of the screen. It's the intended
Must have tripped him up from behind.
Kevin Glenn chatted with us before the game and said that he's close to returning.
Yeah, he thinks within the next couple of weeks that he should be ready to return. I guess maybe the question for the Saskatchewan Roughriders at a certain point is balancing whether you've got a shot at the playoffs and developing a young quarterback.
Sinceri, nice move here, dodges a pursuer. Against the grain is Jerome Messam. Steamrolls now. Jerome Messam rumbling up to the 50, the 45, and a big gainer here. And Jerome Messam throws the ball at the Ottawa Redblacks. There's a penalty flag way back at the 30-yard line. He and Jacquez Washington have been
this is not the first
all
time
day
they've been
long.
at each other.
Yep. In each
Offside.
other's grills.
Saskatchewan, number 87, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
This is coming back. Their biggest play offensively of the game. Another penalty. Jacquez Washington now mimicking Jerome Messing.
Yeah, well, you see that early jump. Taking away the Riders' biggest play of the night.
Washington, a first-year free safety right now out of Iowa State.